One of the things that we try to do, though, is wait until we have other songs that go together with our favorites.
He didn't just make music, he sculpted sound.
As an artist, I just went there just to find it, and then you make changes.
While the world fixated on his purple persona, Prince was obsessing over grooves, tones, and arrangements, most of which were inspired by a handful of bands that shaped his entire sonic world. The truth? His creative mind didn't come out of nowhere. It was carved from records he played until the vinyl cracked. You might expect Hendrix, MJ, or even Bowie. But the real inspirations? They're funkier, more unpredictable, and in some cases, nearly forgotten by mainstream ears. In this video, we dive into the 6 bands Prince didn't just admire, he studied them, lived through them, and sometimes even tried to outdo them. Some of them shaped his sound. Others he carried with him on tour, locked in headphones before each show. But all of them left fingerprints on his music forever. Stick around till the end for a band that Prince called a galaxy of rhythm, a group whose influence is hidden inside almost every funk line he ever wrote. Number 1. Led Zeppelin. Some artists inspire, others ignite something. Zeppelin exploded it. Prince wasn't shy about what drove him. He didn't just crave sound, he wanted power. And Led Zeppelin didn't whisper, they roared. Prince once said, "Bonham's drums didn't keep time, they kept command." That wasn't hyperbole. He meant it. Zeppelin didn't just play music, they summoned it. From Whole Lotta Love to Kashmir, their songs had mass, force, swagger. It was rock, yes, but it pulsed like funk and towered like opera, a genre of its own. Prince studied pages layering like a magician watches another's trick. Riffs stacked on riffs, tension that curled and snapped back. You hear it in Purple Rain, in The Gold Experience, even in Black Sweat. The guitars sound different, but the architecture is Zeppelin. Off stage, Prince moved like a ghost. But on stage, that scream, that strut, that fire, that's Robert Plant's DNA showing through. He never copied it. He channeled it. Their stage presence gave him permission to be unhinged, raw, shirtless, unapologetic. He'd often tell his band, "Don't play like you know the part. Play like you own the room." And Zeppelin? They never asked for the room. They took it. There's a reason they were always in Prince's rotation, not because they were rock gods, because they were fearless, dangerous, loud in the right ways. He didn't see boundaries in music, and neither did they. Number 2. Sly and The Family Stone. Prince didn't just grow up with soul music, he studied it like scripture. But there was only one band that tore up the book and rewrote the rules in real time. Sly and the Family. Stone didn't just funk, they fused race, gender, genre. No one before them moved like this. No one after dared to move the same. Prince once said, "Sly didn't have backup singers, he had an army." Their sound was a riot in stereo, bass that walked like thunder, horns that cut like sirens, drums that chased the groove instead of following it. Everyday people. Dance to the music, if you want me to stay. These weren't songs, these were declarations. Prince was barely a teen when he first saw them live. He said it felt like someone unlocked the purple, not just the funk, but the freedom. Men and women on the same stage, trading vocals, trading energy, no hierarchy, just heat. You can hear it in Uptown, in Controversy, in every time he split the mic with Wendy or Sheila or Rosie. It wasn't just homage, it was inheritance. Prince didn't steal their vibe, he took their courage. Because Sly didn't just want to entertain, he wanted to liberate, musically, politically, spiritually. And Prince, he followed that same blueprint. Make 'em dance, then blow their minds. That's why Sly wasn't just one of Prince's favorites, he was part of his foundation. Number 3. InXS. Prince didn't hand out praise easily, especially not to rock bands, but when it came to InXS, he didn't hesitate. He once called them the sexiest band in the world. And he meant it. InXS didn't just play, they prowled, a hybrid of funk, new wave and rock that somehow landed like liquid fire. And at the center of it all was Michael Hutchence, barefoot, shirtless, magnetic. Prince admired performers who owned the stage, who made it feel like a bedroom and a battlefield all at once. That's what Hutchence did. He didn't perform at you, he pulled you in. InXS wasn't just a band, it was a pulse, a groove, tight, slick, and built like a funk machine disguised as a rock outfit. Listen to What You Need, that bass line, could have been cut in Minneapolis. But it wasn't just the sound, it was the swagger. Prince recognized it instantly. He even attended their shows incognito, back of the arena, dark glasses on, head nodding. He didn't try to work with them, didn't cover them, didn't need to. The respect was wordless. Just a nod from one animal performer to another. Prince didn't just admire their music, he admired their risk. InXS didn't follow pop trends, they built their own lane. Seductive, strange, always a little dangerous. And that's what Prince respected most, control over chaos. Turning sweat into style, making lust feel like poetry. InXS didn't sound like Prince, but they moved like him, and that was more than enough. Number 4. De La Soul. Prince didn't just listen to the charts, he listened between them. That's where De La Soul lived. They didn't sound like anyone else. They didn't look like anyone else. And Prince noticed. He once described them as daring in the softest, smartest way. This wasn't gangster rap, it wasn't pop-hop. De La Soul dropped their debut like a velvet revolution. 3 feet high and rising didn't try to fit in. It made everything else sound outdated.
It's just me, myself, and I.
Prince loved reinvention, but he worshipped innovation. And De La Soul re-engineered what hip-hop could be. Jazz samples, game show interludes, lyrics that were part philosophy, part punchline. Their whole style was a contradiction, mellow but sharp. Funny but biting, soft-edged but deeply political. Prince saw what was really happening. He didn't just hear the music, he saw the blueprint.
Greetings, girl, and welcome to my world.
And while they were being labeled hippies and weirdos, Prince recognized the stealth, the quiet confidence. These weren't misfits, they were architects. He admired how they flipped black expression into something unexpected, something playful, without losing its soul. That was the same alchemy Prince practiced in every album he made.
3, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
And then there was their fearlessness. They sued their own label, called out sample clearance politics, fought for their catalogue. Prince, who spent decades battling for ownership of his own music, knew exactly how heavy that fight was. De La Soul didn't just inspire him sonically, they inspired him strategically. Not just music makers, culture benders, quiet radicals. That's why, when Prince named the most important bands of his lifetime, De La Soul was already carved into the list. Number 5. Soul 2. Soul. Prince didn't just study music, he studied movement. And Soul 2, Soul moved like no one else. Not in a flashy way, not with pyrotechnics or volume. They moved with elegance, minimalism, groove as philosophy. When Back to Life hit in 1989, it didn't just chart, it reset the temperature of R&B. Prince later said the track felt like silk sliding over stone. That song didn't explode, it unfolded, slowly, like a secret. The bass line didn't flex, it glided. The vocals didn't shout, they breathed. and Prince understood exactly how hard it is to sound that effortless. Soul too. Soul wasn't just a band, they were a collective. DJs, singers, producers, poets. A fluid lineup, united by vision. That kind of collaborative energy mirrored how Prince built the new power generation. He admired Jazzy B not just as a frontman, but as a conductor, someone who could orchestrate energy without dominating it. Their aesthetic was rich, but stripped down, expensive sounding but never loud. Prince took notes. Their use of space, silence, restraint, it echoed in his later work, especially on the Gold Experience. And there was pride in it, cultural pride, Afrofuturism, without the costume. They weren't trying to fit into pop, they were elevating soul. Prince once said, "They don't perform the music, they live it." And that's why Soul II Soul became one of the rare few to make Prince's cut, not just for what they made, but for how they made it. Number 6. Parliament Funkadelic. Prince once said, "If you can't outplay them, outfunk them." That wasn't advice, it was a survival strategy. And the band he was talking about, Parliament Funkadelic, they weren't just a musical force, they were a galactic collision, chaos, colour, philosophy and bass. Prince didn't just admire them, he studied them like scripture. There's no Prince without George Clinton, no controversy without Flashlight, no Purple Rain without 1,000 Nights of P-Funk rattling in his head. What blew Prince's mind was the duality. Parliament partied while Funkadelic preached. One band, two sounds, funk as spectacle, funk as resistance. It was theatrical, radical, absurd, and deadly serious. Prince once called Maggot Brain a spiritual experience on 6 strings. That wasn't flattery, that was reverence. He heard Eddie Hazel turn grief into vibration, and he took notes. Every solo Prince ever played owes a little to that song. And the close, the stage shows, the unapologetic weirdness. Prince didn't just copy the look, he understood the message. Black music could be high art, low humour, and future myth, all at once. By the time Prince formed the revolution, you could feel the P-Funk DNA in every bass line. And when he broke free of pop formulas, that was Clinton's voice in his head saying, "Tear the roof off this sucker." Parliament Funkadelic weren't a band, they were a movement. And for Prince, they were the cosmic blueprint for what music could really do. Prince didn't just admire talent, he chased transcendence. Every artist on this list didn't just shape his sound, they shaped his mission. To make music that moved, that mattered, that messed with your soul and rewired your brain. And whether it came from soul, funk, rock, or rap, if it meant something, Prince heard it. Let us know in the comments, who would make your list? And if you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your ears wide open.